Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. And what I want to share with you today is 14 high-paying work-from-home jobs that you can do in 2020 and probably 2021 and beyond. So stay tuned. This is going to be a great video for those of you looking to make some extra money from home. All right, so before we get started, I do want to let you know I'm continuing to build other great lists and ideas. So if you want to check out more of my detailed lists, like ways to make money on YouTube, local money-making strategies, passive income strategies, and mindsets of the super rich, go ahead and check out some of the freebies. And we're continuing to constantly evolve and update these things. So go to MyLittleNestEgg.com and go to the freebies section where you can download some of these PDFs, checklists, and much more. So to kick things off and get things started, I want to mention some of these things as far as working from home are not in any specific order or as far as earnings go. It's really just about giving you some ideas, but I did just number them for ease of use. So let's kick things off and let's get started with number one is video editor. Edit some videos, home videos, and make some extra cash. The average earnings for this is around $20 to $40 an hour. Of course, if you're established, you could make a little bit more, but these average earnings are just kind of rough earnings within the United States and kind of the overall industry. Again, some people may get paid less, some people may get paid more in these things that we mentioned. All right, let's go ahead and check out number two here. And number two is a video animator. So what's the difference between video editor and animator? Video editor really just focuses on editing, trimming, clipping videos, which I used to do quite a lot of when it comes to video editing with weddings. And video animator is more about special effects, things like in movies, music videos, anything that's typography that's moving around in a big way. It's a little bit more. So some people earn $40 an hour, and I've seen people charge as high as $150 per hour for certain special effects on some freelancing and gig related websites. So that's pretty cool, of course. And number three is a bookkeeper. Now, you don't have to be a CPA to help people with their bookkeeping. Sometimes a bookkeeper is just coaching, consulting, maybe organizing, reconciling people's books and seeing the spots and problems within their transactions. And businesses need this quite a lot to make sure things are organized. And then eventually, once the bookkeeper kind of organizes and tidies up, then you have the crew to go ahead like a CPA, really check things over and finalize some things. So they can make an average of, let's say, $21 an hour. And really their goal is to tidy things up before the CPA looks at it. So for example, if you pay a tax accountant maybe $200 an hour, well, yeah, they could organize your books, but if you can get a bookkeeper to do it, you'll pay a lot less. But that's what's great about it. If you're trying to make money on the side, if you have some basic accounting knowledge, you can make some extra side cash working from home. And it's remotely, right? The other thing is, number four is a child caregiver. Do you like to work with and take care of kids and help out working families? Yeah, you can make on average about $14.66 per hour. Now, of course, if there's more kids at the house and you're doing maybe laundry, dishes, and prepping meals, you might be able to make more per hour. If you're just taking care of the kids, you might be making a little less. And if it's, kind of depending on the neighborhood you're in, depending on the services that you're offering, you can, charge more or less. But if you're looking to make a little bit of extra side income, it's kind of like babysitting, but taking care of kids, educating them could be a lucrative thing that you could do working from home. And let's say you go ahead and start kind of your own business at your house and you're taking care of 4 kids and each parent is paying you $70 per day. Well, $70 a day times 4 kids, that's $280. So again, think of it in the business context, but you get what I'm saying is that if you have a couple of kids, you take care of them throughout the day, you can really ramp up your cash and revenue just working from home. Number 5 is copywriting. Can you write sales letters that convert a visitor into a buyer if you're good with words? If you're really good with, sales copy, sales letters, email letters, those kinds of things, you can really transform somebody's page to make them more sales, then that's really worth a lot of money. So you could earn anywhere between $50 to $200 an hour. I've seen some people charge $2,000 an hour for copywriting a sales page. And of course, some of those sales pages make millions of dollars. So that's why some people get paid a lot of money for their words. All right, so number 6 is Proofreader, also similar, you could say, to Copywriter. But Proofreader is looking for maybe book mistakes, editing. If you're good with grammar, English, again, English is my second language, by the way, if you couldn't guess from the name. But if you're really good with those words, then by all means, you can make anywhere between $22 and $29 an hour. Of course, some people can make more, but the industry is kind of right around there. And that's a great thing. You could just go ahead, open up somebody's Microsoft Word file, read their book, proofread it, edit it, and go from there. Now, by chance, if you're interested, we also have a website. If you're looking to write an ebook, check out 5starauthor.com, where we design ebook covers and do book editing as well. Not me personally, but my team. And we help people that are getting started in writing Kindle books, ebooks, print books, those kinds of things. So check those things out as well if you're interested in kind of making some side or passive income with your ebooks. Anyways, let's move forward. All right, so proofreading is number 6. Let's go to number 7. That's graphic designer. If you have a visual eye for logos, websites, and maybe like pop-ups, designing pop-ups, things for websites or maybe billboards, all those things really need a graphic designer. It's actually one of the first jobs that I really had when I got started when I was around 12 to 13 years old, doing a lot of logos for different companies just starting out. It might have been like a person doing boat hauling with their trailer. It could have been like a pressure washing business. I did those kinds of things. And people like that still wanted logos because they needed it for their business card. So those people can make $65 to $150 an hour if you're really good. Now, if you're just getting started, you might make $30 an hour. But still, once you get into the sweet spot, you know, you're averaging a pretty good kind of wage per hour, and you can do this from home as long as you have the software. Number 8, event planner. Again, you're planning out a lot of things like parties, hotspots. Are you connecting well with other people in your community? Love to go to maybe weddings, all that stuff. Event planners, they can make some great money depending on your location and area. Sometimes you do have to go and visit those areas, but you can make $25 to $100 an hour, and some people much more depending on if you're dealing with celebrities. So this can be very lucrative depending on what you're doing with those events. Number 9 is online tutor. If you like to teach and work with other people, depending on if you're teaching math, science, maybe kids, college students, you can charge a little more or less. So here you're looking at between $15 and $35 an hour, which is pretty good. And you can also do it remotely online. So that makes it pretty lucrative. And number 10 is a photographer. I used to do this quite a bit when it came to weddings. I did wedding photography and videography. Can you take pictures of people? Maybe special events. And the average earnings here is $50 to $150 an hour. Now, normally you might see photographers charge $250 or $350 per hour on their shoot. So when you're actually there, for example, when I used to do this, and this was years ago, it was about maybe $300 an hour. But remember, once you get the photos back, you have to go ahead, edit the photos. You're dealing with the phone calls with maybe the bride and groom and those kinds of things. And all that stuff takes time. So eventually you're kind of averaging between $50 to $150 per hour when all things is said and done. All right, number 11 is a realtor. Do you love to show homes and work with other people? Yes, some realtors make a fortune because they're selling multi-million-dollar homes, but you're kind of averaging around $39, $45 an hour. So 39 is kind of what I saw as far as the national average, because not all realtors are selling the houses that well, and not all properties are $1 million and plus. So you might have homes that are $200,000, $400,000, and then of course, yeah, you might have other homes $10 million and so forth. But if you're brand new, you're probably not going to start out with the $10 million homes. So instead, averaging about $39 an hour with a realtor. If you like doing hairstyling, cutting people's hairs, you could go ahead and make about $19 per hour. You could work from home. Probably also have clients show up to your house. And one of my neighbors used to do this, and I said, hey, why don't I go ahead and stop by, back when I was in high school. So I just easily went over to their house, paid them a few bucks, got my haircut, and it was all said and done. I don't know how legal it is in certain states. I think they have certain restrictions and things like that, or requirements or licensing things. But for us, hey, if you know somebody, it's just go for it, right? But if you're trying to make some extra income, side income from home, doing people's hair could be a nice and interesting gig. And number 13 is a translator. If you know a few languages and you can translate on the fly, you might be able to work with people translating, or you might be able to work with people teaching a second language. Those people, they earn an average of $30 to $50 an hour, as that skill could be very viable to, even in business context and settings. And the last one that I'll mention here is a voice actor. And if you have a nice voice or you can mimic other people's voices, this could be very lucrative, because you could be, again, $35 to $75 an hour, and even much more. Again, if you're singing, if you're doing voiceovers in movies, that could start to ramp things up. So understand that different skill sets, different talents can really be very rewarding if you have them in your arsenal. So anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining me in these kind of ideas for working from home as we're getting into 2020 and continue to move forward with some of the pandemics here going on with coronavirus and many other things that are changing in the world globally. So try and look at what you can do locally. Try and check out some of these things as well. If you're trying to learn to make some extra money on the side or from home, maybe doing these things online could really benefit and boost your personal wealth and finances. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check out our website to download some of those freebies and PDFs. You can also sign up to our newsletter list so that way you get notified as we release those things by clicking the link over here, or of course, joining me on YouTube by clicking the face icon here. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.